Hello, race fans. This is Trace Ali along with Gary Godley, and we're here to watch perhaps the biggest race of the year. In fact, it's the start of what we call the big payoff races for 1996, Gary.
That's right, Trace. We've got drivers from all over the country here from different sanctioning bodies who race at different tracks and have their own battles here, but I tell you what, this time they got to go against the best, and the best are here. It's $30,000 to win and $3,000 just to get into the show, and I think we're going to see a lot of great racing here tonight.
There'll be a lot of great racing. In fact, it'll include a lot of the great racers. 8 to 10 of the best drivers in America are here to race for this money. Now, 2 of those drivers who are competing and going to be in the race tonight have already won the Show Me 100. Billy Moyer Jr. from Batesville, Arkansas, over 500 wins in the millions and winning so far in his career, has already won the first 2 Show Me 100s. And last year, Scott Bloomquist, the reigning champion of the HAV-A-TAMPA Dirt Racing Series, current points leader and champion both for 94 and 95, is going to be right in there with him. He won it last year. We talked to both of those guys. Let's look and see what their career is doing right now. Throughout the mid and upper Midwest region, Billy Moyer Jr. has dominated dirt track racing for over a decade. His domination includes the first 2 wins of the Show Me 100. He's back for an attempt to win a third.
Last night the car would go wherever I wanted it to go, and I just feel real good about it. You know, the car's got to work with the driver, and you know, we was here practice night and wasn't happy at all. You know, we changed everything on this thing but a paint on it yesterday, I think, and you know, finally hit on the right combination, we feel like. So I feel real good about it tonight. You know, the car in the heat race, we had some of the quicker laps of anybody in the heats, and you know, running the car fairly conservative. So I feel like, you know, if we make the right tire choices and stuff here, the track stays, you know, close to how it was last night. I think we got a real good combination for that.
But Scott Bloomquist won the Show Me 100 in 1995, the only time Moyer hasn't won. Bloomquist is very impressive in his career as he has dominated the HAV-A-TAMPA Super National Late Model Series, winning back-to-back season championships. And he's ready to defend his 1995 Show Me 100 title win.
Every time we get to this place, you know, everybody's got different equipment, and there's some guys running pretty good out there, and we feel like we're running extremely well also. The key tonight is just going to be getting your final setup and tire combination, and I think we were pretty good last night. So we think we got a great shot tonight, as good as ever. So we will be there, I'm sure.
Billy Moyer Jr. from Batesville, Arkansas, practically in his backyard, and Scott Bloomquist from Mooresburg, Tennessee. 2 of the most competitive guys you'll ever meet anywhere, and they're right here for this race, trying to repeat as the only 2 winners so far of the Show Me 100 in Missouri.
And if Lady Luck has anything to do with this race here this weekend, there's 107 other drivers who'd like to win this race. And this is one of the greatest racetracks here in America, and we're going to talk to some of those drivers about the raceability of this racetrack.
No matter what corner of America the race car drivers who come to the Show Me 100 represent, they all enjoy the raceability of the Show Me 100's West Plains Motor Speedway.
You know, last year it rained a lot, so it was hooked up top, bottom. You can run about anywhere. Where last night they had a pound down pretty smooth and hard and slick. And there was one fairly fast crew about middle away, not quite high, but middle to high, I'd call it. It was really good. And normally this track here, right around the pole, is real fast. Now, they hauled some dirt in last night, and they're doing some changes to it, so it could be a whole new racetrack. So we're kind of sitting there going to watch the contests real seriously, like the spectator versus the racer. We're going to watch.
There's a lot of good cars down there, and a lot of them are running up front, you know, that I don't normally run against, just getting the right setup and stuff. We got a lot of competition, a lot of good cars here.
It's a good smooth track, and with the even bank like it has on it, it's a good passing track, and I think you'll see a lot of track position on the track, whether it be high or low. I don't think it'll be a large factor on whether you can pass or not. I think you can pass high if your car is good, or low if it's good for the low groove. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why I think they draw so many cars here, is because it is a good passing track and makes it good for the fans and for the racers as well.
I think from what I can gather and what I can feel in my car, that you got to have some maneuverability here, you know, to be able to pass high or low. And there were some cars that was really good. Billy was really good last night in his heat and stuff, passing lap cars and stuff. So I think if we can get the car maneuverable and I can adjust, I believe we'll be able to get in the show.
And it's really a driver racetrack, and your car's got to be real, real good. And I think the fastest car will win the race tonight. It won't be somebody holding somebody up. There's really no blocking. It's all just who can keep their momentum and keep their car real smooth and free. and that's the person that'll win the race. It won't be somebody that's going out there trying to kill the car or smoking the tires down. That won't get it. It'll be real finesse driving, and that's what we're going to try to do today.
Putting the sizzle in race cars all over the United States. Out of Cowpen, South Carolina, Barry Wright, you've built a lot of race cars. We see Scott Bloomquist, Ronnie Johnson, and a lot of other very successful race car drivers in there. One of the things that's happened in this kind of business is somebody comes up with something like you do, and it all changes. Everybody else suddenly picks up. Let's talk about something that Barry Wright Race Cars has done the last couple of years that has changed what you do in a car. For example, you were telling me a little bit about the radiator earlier, Barry.
Yeah, we have to, most of our races are 100 lappers, so we have to stay real cool. So we were running a heat exchanger in the middle of the car, so I talked to Buddy Griffin at Griffin Radiator, and they come up with this idea of putting the heat exchanger in the radiator, and it's really worked good. It used to sit in the middle of the car, and you had about 4 extra lines you had to run to it. So we've eliminated 2 lines, and it cools a lot better.
Well, in fact, I can tell right away by the fact that you don't have those extra lines that you've eliminated some problems because you have less things to put up there. But the other concern would be is how do you get the heat transfer? Obviously, those lines must have taken some of the heat away.
Well, really, the lines took a little out of it, but the air coming through the radiator, cooling the water to the oil, run, you know, just like a transmission cooler. It just works on the same basics, but it cools oil probably 25 degrees.
And as a result of that, the car now runs with more power and yet stays a little bit cooler.
Right, it runs cooler, plus the water temperature also goes down, you know, and so that way you run 100 lappers in the hot weather like we got today and be a lot more successful.
Barry Wright race cars, they always jump ahead out front very quickly. Once they figure out what the track's about, they make it happen. As you can see, innovation is always a key with Barry Wright at the helm. Right now on your screen, we're looking at the cars lining up 3 wide for what should be the biggest, perhaps most spectacular opening of a race you're ever going to see from the Show Me 100 right here at West Plains Motor Speedway. Gary, this is an awesome field of cars. We've been watching closely tonight in the consolations and all the other races. There have been some incredibly good cars not make this race. For 3,000 to start, it's been the top field going after it every step of the way, and the fireworks are beginning to unfold on the infield, as you can see right here from West Plains Motor Speedway as Memorial Day comes to life with 24 of the fastest cars in America on dirt tracks running right here before you here tonight with this spectacular the Show Me 100 from West Plains Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at the starting lineup, Gary. Row 1, of course, Billy Boyer from Batesville, Arkansas. Outside him, Don O'Neill from Martinsville, Indiana. In row number 2, Rick Auckland from Fargo, North Dakota. And number 32, Bob Pierce from Danville, Illinois, starting fourth.
And on the inside row, number 3, car number 18, Scott Bloomquist out of Mooresburg, Tennessee, and 75, John Gill out of Mitchell, Indiana. Row 4, number 75, Bart Hartman. And number 4, out of Zanesville, Ohio, and car G2, David Gibson out of Ash Flat, Arkansas.
Starting in row number 5 inside, it's Clint Smith from Griffin, Georgia, in car number 1. And then next to him, it'll be car 64 with Rex McCroskey from Springfield, Missouri. Row 6, it's Stan Massey, the 22 car from Mableton, Georgia. And the number 6 car outside him on row 6 is Wendell Wallace from Batesville, Arkansas.
And row number 7, car 27, Bob Pullman out of Oak Lawn, Illinois, and car 57J, Bub McCool out of Vicksburg, Mississippi. Row 8, number 11, Donnie Barnhart out of North Little Rock, Arkansas, and number F1, Jeff Floyd out of Walnut Ridge, Arkansas.
Row number 9, Jim Curry from Norman, Indiana, in the 7 car. Next to the 00 car, Freddie Smith, actually from Kings Mountain, North Carolina. And in row number 10, L51 first consolation race winner tonight, Wayne Brooks from Bald Knob, Arkansas. Outside him, also a consolation race winner, Ronnie Johnson, car number 5 from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
And row 11, number 75, Terry Phillips out of Springfield, Missouri, and car number 21, Dale McDowell out of Chickamauga, Georgia. On the last row, car number 12, or row 12, number 33, Al Perkey out of Coffeyville, Kansas, and car number 9, Mike Jewell out of Scottsburg, Indiana.
This is just an unbelievable night. You can't believe how lucky you are to be watching this, and we can't believe how lucky we are, Gary, to be sitting here, to be part of this incredible spectacle. And I do mean spectacle at West Plains Motor Speedway. It's getting close to time. Our flagman will take a look at it one more time, and we'll get ready to roll here. We've got a lot of folks excited. We've got everyone prepared. This moment is the moment everyone's waited for an entire year since Scott Bloomquist was the winner in 1995. Now it's Billy Moyer on the pole, leading the charge as 24 of the fastest dirt track late models in America fly through turn 1. So far without incident, 2 and 3 wide in the back there. But again, Moyer shooting to the inside, quickly getting a lot of challenge from Don O'Neill from Martinsville, Indiana. And he has taken the lead. Don O'Neill just blasted through there, and Billy Moyer slipped just for a moment out of turn 4, and now the Martinsville, Indiana driver is running to the front with Moyer on his tail.
And back in third place, Rick Laughlin out of Fargo, North Dakota. He's currently holding down third. And number 32 in fourth, Bob Pierce, all the way from Danville, Illinois, as they're trying to get themselves separated from the rest of the pack.
Apparently, the 32 car has moved up into third place, and Scott Bloomquist is now into fourth. He's moved up by one position and passed one car. We're trying to pick up the car that has been overtaken at this point. Out in front, of course, it's the 71 car, Don O'Neill, followed by Billy Moyer, and then the 12 car of Auckland. Now inside it goes Bob Pierce out there in turn 3 into 4, and Clint Smith is going inside, Rex McCroskey and David Gibson. Almost 3 wide, a little bit of a touch there with McCroskey and Clint Smith coming out of turn 4 down the straight into turn 1 as we go into turns and out of turn 2 right now. 3 wide on that back straightaway, Gary.
Yeah, we're watching these guys. They're trying to find that groove. It looks like most of them are going to settle down on the inside. But again, this is a 100-lap race. There's a long ways to go. And I tell you what, we're only 5 laps into this race, and they're starting to string themselves out in single file.
Rick Auckland has now moved into third, where he finished last year in the Show Me 100 here from West Plains, Missouri. But out in front, pulling away, it's Don O'Neill from Martinsville, Indiana, who has absolutely shocked everybody right now, who expected to see Billy Moyer run to the front and just cruise away. Obviously, Don O'Neill has found the tire combination and has a great hooked-up race car. Don O'Neill has now led 13 laps. Of course, Billy Moyer running second behind him, and Rick Auckland, of course, still in third with Scott Bloomquist trying to make that move. Still trying, I believe, to pass on the car driven by Bob Pierce, the number 32 car. We're looking back in the field to 22 car, Stan Massey, coming around out of turn 4, heading on the front straightaway with Donnie Barnhart from North Little Rock coming after him. David Gibson from Ash Flat, Arkansas right behind that, and plenty of other cars making the challenge. There was the number 5 car of Ronnie Johnson. He had fought his way literally into this race tonight by winning the consolation race earlier, the second consolation race tonight. Had some bad tire choice on that heat race night before and did very poorly, but finds himself tonight at least $3,000 richer for getting into this race, Gary. Look at the 4 wide there.
Yeah, again, these guys are fighting for position, and again, this track is, you can go anywhere on it when your car is set up right. We've noticed that the cars on the back stretch and on the front stretch, it's gradually coming out to come up and tuck yourself up against that wall.
That was Jeff Floyd in the number F1 car from Walnut Ridge, Arkansas, another one of the Arkansasians that are out here battling away here tonight with all the rest of the folks from America. 71 still continues to lead, of course. That's Don O'Neill. He's got Billy Moyer, though, snaking around in the back there after 17 laps as they head for 18 here, making the move on the outside. Now Moyer may be getting a little more aggressive here. He may make the decision here to go ahead and try to go to the high side, see if he can find the groove. He is finding something up there now. Now Moyer's alongside the Don O'Neill car. O'Neill is running inside, trying to keep the Wayne Brooks car, but Wayne Brooks just took a tag from Moyer. Moyer's letting him know he's holding up the race progress here, and O'Neill is trying to find his way past another car that's being lapped. The 7 car of Jim Curry, trying to stay ahead of both of them, and both of those cars dangling with each other, trying to tangle with those in front of them only enough to get them out of the way so they continue to roll. Moyer again now to the inside of O'Neill. Now he's beginning to find another groove on the inside of the racetrack as the Show Me 100 blast for 20 laps, 80 to go, and a big battle right here on the back straightaway, Gary.
Yeah, one of the most important things we're going to see here is only after 20 laps, they are lapping the field already, and that traffic's going to be very important for the guy who wants to get that $30,000 in that first place tonight.
Billy Moyer has been just hooked up from the second he got on this racetrack 3 days ago during practice, and now he's trying with everything right now to stay smooth but aggressive as O'Neill continues to lead him, and again tries to move inside just a little bit quicker. Again, O'Neill staying just high enough on the front straightaway to hold him back. O'Neill's got a great running car, but Moyer has definitely got himself one too. There's a battle here that's going to rage for at least a couple, except for now Billy Moyer's getting inside him. He may have him this time. Billy Moyer trying to make the pass here. Lap 23 in the books, lap 23 now underway, and Moyer holding to the inside, making a strong move. O'Neill trying to hold him off, and Moyer still pushing through turn 3. Again, nosing just a little bit past him. Watch the cars. It slides just a little further forward each time. Now it looks like he's got the position, but O'Neill goes high again. Moyer's getting trapped behind Mike Jewell just a little bit, then slides to the inside, drives a little wider there, holds O'Neill off, and seems to have the position, and the yellow caution flag has come out. Something has interfered with the race. We'll try to find out what it is here in just a second. A car up along the front straightaway wall seems to be, I believe, the 33 car, Al Perkey from Kansas. Perkey down here in turn 1, obviously slowed down considerably, and he will stop the race with 23 laps in the book. Gary, let's take a break for Ford and all the other folks. We'll be back in a moment with more from the Show Me 100, the 4th annual version from West Plains Motor Speedway. Back to West Plains Motor Speedway. The Show Me 100 is underway, 23 laps in the books, and Billy Moyer, the expected favorite, who has already won 2 of these races and $30,000 in his pocket both times, is running second to this car on your screen, the 71 car of Don O'Neill from Martinsville, Indiana. So far, he has been just a streak, Gary. He's taken right off. But what is making this race all the more interesting, he started 5th, but Scott Bloomquist is now 3rd. The race is back underway, and away we go. Again, quickly scooting to the front, blasting through turn 1, staying smooth, and very perfectly straight through turn 2. It's the Don O'Neill car from Martinsville, Indiana, doing very well. But Billy Moyer, on a mission to repeat again as the winner of the Show Me 100, is right on his tail. But Scott Bloomquist continues to bring it up. Rick Auckland in 4th with another car behind or between him. That is a lap car he is trying to pass at this point. Moyer's car is absolutely ballistic at this point. And, of course, inside that car beats the heart of one of the most competitive people in racing in the world. He's got well over 500 wins on racetracks all over America, especially in this region of the country, near his home of Batesville, Arkansas.
And Scott Bloomquist on a mission up there in 3rd, and it looks like we may even have a attempt for a pass from 1st. It's 21, gets on the outside, but gets cut off by number 71, Don McNeil. But again, keep your eye on Bloomquist. He's a man on a mission, and we're on our 26th lap. We got 75 to go.
As the racetrack continues to remain slick in lap 26, we've got the battle with Moyer to the outside now, trying to make his pass on the 71 car. He's high enough. He may have it. He's got enough power, but Don O'Neill stays underneath but loses it. Moyer did blast around him. He finally grabbed and shot out of turn 2, got that bite he was looking for in the right rear, and the rest of the car just hooked up and took off down the racetrack. Now, Don O'Neill from Martinsville, Indiana, has got a battle behind him that's going to really scare him, and it's Scott Bloomquist, the winning HAV-A-TAMPA Series champion 2 years in a row and current points champion from Mooresburg, Tennessee. This man knows the racetrack. He won the race last year, and he's pulling up behind O'Neill now, pushing his car, the number 18 Cornet engine-built car, forward faster and faster, looking for his next line that will take him possibly to the front. In the background, Donnie Barnhart from North Little Rock slips a little as Stan Massey moves to the outside and passes him, and the number 6 car ahead of them, Wendell Wallace, again searches for a position on the track.
Wendell Wallace out of Batesville, Arkansas, trying to make a good show here tonight, which is kind of like his home track, but he's got a long ways to go here with 30 laps down into the Show Me 100 race.
In fact, he got a huge response out of the crowd, probably the biggest one of everybody here tonight almost, with the exception possibly of Billy Moyer, also his brother-in-law from Batesville, Arkansas. Scott Bloomquist in 2nd, of course. Gary, he's running as strong as I've seen him run anywhere, but Billy Moyer is just simply wired for sound and speed here tonight. Look how fast, quick through that turn, 2 of the fastest cars in America. Did you see how they just held in that turn?
Man, these guys are flying around here, but something's very important is getting ready to happen here. We have some lap traffic coming up, and whoever gets around that the best, after 50 laps, we're at halfway right now, is going to win this big payday of $30,000.
That's right. Billy Moyer now knows that he and Scott Bloomquist will have to tussle. It can't be just a clear sail anymore. Bloomquist won't allow it, and Moyer won't allow him to try to get around him without a great fight on his hands. Moyer is absolutely golden on this racetrack, and right now Scott Bloomquist is looking for places and possibilities to make the pass. He's inside now there, but he slides back just a little. Bloomquist has begun his search for the right spot. Now it's up to Moyer to try to decide if he can keep the fast place on the racetrack and still continue to hold Bloomquist. It looks like Bloomquist is going to try once again, if not many times, to try to pull inside and take it away from Billy Moyer. Inside, classic racing, two of the top race cars and the top drivers in America going at it at the Show Me 100 in West Plains, Missouri. Coming around out of turn 4, again, Bloomquist sticking just behind the Billy Moyer car. Behind him, the 71 car, fighting for his life with Griffin George's Clint Smith putting on the best race of his entire year so far. He is coming on so strong. This is amazing. Clint Smith finally figured out the tire combination. He's got the car white hot and rolling inside on turn 2, pulling inside, but Bloomquist up ahead, still on the hunt, still trying to find that way around Billy Moyer. 60 laps in the book, and two of the best and the brightest pushing each other, pushing to the limit. Moyer is now slightly behind. Bloomquist has got him on the inside. If his tires can hold, he may pull this fast. This may be the moment. Moyer again goes to the high side. His speed accelerating on the back straightaway, but Bloomquist continues to hold. His car sticks beautifully. Moyer slides just a little in turn 4. He's come to the outside. Again, side by side now for 2 solid laps. Moyer keeps trying to hold the position. Goes a little bit in the front as they shoot down the back straightaway. But it's obvious that Scott Bloomquist had the position on him there for just a minute, but he couldn't quite hold it. Moyer has outlasted the charge from Scott Bloomquist in lap 63. But again, here comes Bloomquist back on the inside. Incredible challenge going on. Who is going to take this race? We've got to stick it out and wait and see. But look right now at these two cars. One of these two cars, if they don't get together, is going to be the winner. If they do, possibly Griffin George's miracle could occur tonight as Clint Smith rides high in the third position behind them.
And in third place, while all this is going on, take a look back. It's car number 1, Clint Smith, who started 9th. He's moving up on him while this battle's going on. It's giving him a chance to catch up, Trace, as we look at him as he moves back here through the backstretch and heads into turn 3.
Bloomquist now has the number 1 car, Clint Smith. Clint did make it around. He's moved to 3rd, and he's fighting again to hang on to Bloomquist's tail. Now he's going inside Bloomquist. This is amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Bloomquist's car seems to have slowed, and Clint Smith has picked up the pace and has gone to the inside. Now he's shooting to the inside, trying to make that pass on Bloomquist. The crowd's going to its feet on that one, and Moyer continues silky smooth to pull away in first out of turn 2. Moyer now leaving them behind as the two of them battle. The hooked-up battle here causes them to lose speed, Gary.
Yeah, Clint Smith looks like he may have saved his tire, and they come up just about the right time as car 18 again. Scott Bloomquist may have burned up some of those tires with his battle with Billy Moyer, and this battle between 18 and number 1 has allowed Billy Moyer to kind of sneak away from him.
Scott Bloomquist was holding on there for just a second. On the 75th lap, we watched the lights indicate first, in second it was the 18 car, then it was the 1 car, then it was the 18 car, then it was the 1 car. David Gibson from Ashflat, Arkansas has a problem. He's out there slowing down in turn 2. Let's take another short break for our sponsors and come back with more coverage here of the Show Me 100 from West Plains Motor Speedway. Getting set. Scott Bloomquist lining up on the back. Here they go. A quick dive down on the apron, coming across the bank. Out of turn 4, the green flag carries them to the front. And away we go into turn 1 once again. Now, can Bloomquist continue that pace and pull up? Bob Pierce on the outside, now running 4th, trying to get back into some kind of contention. Maybe he's been fighting a battle of holding those tires, Gary.
Yep, again, the guys that conserve the tires, they're going to be there. And again, our third place car, Clint Smith out of Georgia, he has an opportunity here. But let's see what our two leaders in first and second do here. And if they have another side-by-side battle, he's going to be right there in the middle of it.
That's right. Actually, for the Griffin, Georgia native, that would be tremendously helpful if Bloomquist and Moyer would go at it again. All he'd have to do is ride back there, pray like crazy, and hope that his tires would hold up while the two leaders continue to burn at each other and burn that right rear tire. It's becoming more critical by the second. 76 laps in the books.
Yeah, Billy Moyer still leading it away as we complete lap number 77. But again, we're going to take a look at Don O'Neill. What's he going to do? Is he just going to sit here and wait and see what our leaders do? Or is he really going to start putting on a charge here in about 5-10 laps?
Unfortunately for O'Neill, his car might have used up its best part in the early part of the race, leading those 23 laps and fighting with Billy Moyer when he took away the lead right off the get-go. And here we see coming down the front straightaway the stack of cars, including the 75 cars, John Gill, 6M of Wendell Wallace, and a little to the high side, the 75 car, Bart Hartman, out of Zanesville, Ohio. Ronnie Johnson in the 5 car, still inside Stan Massey from Mapleton, Georgia. Again, 2 of the HAV-A-TAMPA regulars fighting with each other, and for the first time in his history, Stan Massey racing at West Plains Motor Speedway in a race other than a HAV-A-TAMPA Series race.
Yeah, that's a battle for 9th and 10th back there in the back of the field. Meanwhile, our top 3 candidates, or our 3 leaders, are starting to pull away from the pack.
Leading the way still, the charge is led by Billy Moyer Jr. Lap 90, 10 laps to go. Now 91 laps to go. Correction, 9 laps to go. Billy Moyer looking to make it 3 out of 4 wins of the Show Me 100 in its first 4 years of history. $30,000 could be in his pocket if he can just hold on and keep the snake behind him from sliding up from behind. 4 laps to go. He's closing in on 3 laps to go. Scott Bloomquist still holding second, but apparently falling behind, still just by inches behind Billy Moyer. Only Bloomquist has a shot at making it happen. He comes deep in the low side of turn 1, dashes out in turn 2, kicks out, dives low into turn 3 like you watch right now, and with a little tire movement there, apparently there's a rough spot he goes through, comes to the high side on the front straightaway, but it's not enough. Whatever the groove is that Billy Moyer found is the one. 98 laps, Moyer will come around. He's got the white flag waiting for him, and 1 more lap to go to pay dirt at West Plains Motor Speedway. Moyer takes the white flag. Bloomquist takes the white flag. They're battling. It's continuing down to the final moments here, but unless something gets in the way, Bill Moyer is going to be the 4th winner of the Show Me 100 from West Plains Motor Speedway, and takes it with Scott Bloomquist coming in second. Last year's winner second, the year before and the year before. Billy Moyer takes the win again from West Plains Motor Speedway. An incredible victory, an incredible accomplishment, and one of the best race cars in the business, again demonstrating that on that night it's his. We'll come back in a moment to West Plains Motor Speedway with our interview with tonight's winner of the Show Me 100, Billy Moyer Jr. from Batesville, Arkansas. 3 out of 4 times it's been his crown.
Billy Moyer Jr. from Batesville, Arkansas, your winner of the Show Me 100. And I tell you what, $30,000 is probably going to put a big smile on his face. And now let's go down to Trace in the winner's circle with an interview with Billy Moyer.
Billy Moyer, 3 out of 4. What can you say? I mean, $30,000 sure feels good, but I know how much you love to win, and win here as big as you did with Scott Bloomquist on your tail must feel incredible.
Well, it does. We just did what we could do, did what we had to do, whatever. At times I felt like I had car left, and then he'd get up there and run me a little bit, and I'd try and pick it up, and I don't know, the car, I guess the tires, they kind of come and go a little bit. There towards the end, the car felt pretty good again, but just there for a few laps when he could run up beside me, like it'd go away a little bit, and, we just had to hang on, and then yellows play a factor, I think, on what the tires do, so... I think we was all pretty much on the same rubber out there.
Did you have to consider getting out of that particular groove that looked so good for you so many times out of that 100 laps when Scott was beside you? Did you ever think you were going to have to leave where you were, maybe to hold him off?
Well, no, I just was going to hold my line. I wasn't going to chop him down, whatever. I let him run there, and, his car seemed to be on the bottom, maybe a little better than what mine was, but I could run right through the middle there, like when I passed O'Neill there. I could run the middle of the outside. Car was real good. I just... going to let it come to me. When he pulled up beside me there, and I'd look down, and I knew I couldn't let him in front of me, or because the cars are too equal. I just knew it'd be tough to get back by him. So I was looking at this victory lane right here, and I said, this is it right here. So we either had got to do it or don't right now.
He did a great job, and we felt good tonight. We felt like we had the car that we could win with, and we just would have been nice to be starting up front, but we ran good. We feel good about it.
I think mine paid off, starting 9th and coming up and running 3rd, and had a shot to win, I believe. So that's what all you asked for, the shot.
And a shot it was, all the way from 9th up to 3rd. Billy Moyer, of course, is your winner with $30,000, followed by Scott Bloomquist, Glenn Smith in 3rd, and Don O'Neill in 4th.
In fifth is Bob Pierce, followed by John Gill, Wendell Wallace, and Ronnie Johnson in eighth. In ninth, one of the Star Series hitters, Bart Hartman, followed by Stan Massey. In 11th, Rex McCroskey, and 12th was Dale McDowell. In 13th, Terry Phillips. And then it was Rick Auckland, Jeff